Originally, the Snowball X Shuttle video was supposed to be released 2 days after this video, but because of technical difficulties with a different video, it was released 1 week in advance. I'll explain that further near the end of this video. Hello everybody, my name is Bloody Elevator, and welcome back to Spire Nights. Right now we are in the last stages of our preparations, as we're about to finish leveling up our Electron Vortex. Now that we've returned to the Haven, let's level up our Electron Vortex to level 10. And with that, our Electron Vortex is fully heated up. We just need to go craft some trinkets. After that, we are good to go. But first, we need a better UV for our Electron Vortex. And I've spent some time farming crowns and selling stuff that I didn't need at the auction house, so that we could afford some better UVs for this thing. Alright Punch, what do you have for us today? Low damage bonus against Construct, not needed. Low damage bonus against Beasts, don't want. Low damage bonus against Slimes, no. Medium damage bonus against Beasts. Punch, what is with you today? Medium charge time reduction. That's good enough for me. After camping at the auction house to buy as many mod calibrators as I could, I was ready to craft all of the elite trinkets to give us the extra damage boost that we need. The original plan was to buy a smaller amount of mod calibrators to craft just the elite slash module and the elite true shot module. But I figured that we might wind up using some of these other elite modules sometime in the future, and figured that I just go all out on the trinket crafting and craft each and every single one of them. This will really help our glass cannon build by giving it the extra amount of damage that we need. It would appear that we ran out of unstable cores. After finding out that the auction house didn't have any, we visited Brinks, who almost always has just what we need in terms of crafting ingredients, usually for tokens that we farm from the Firestorm Citadel and Winds and Nightmares. Thanks, Brinks. With all that done, we now have at least one of each and every single elite module trinket at our disposal should we ever need them. But for now, we only need 2 of them. The elite slash module and the elite true shot module to boost our attacking power. Let's equip these 2 trinkets, and then we can take a look at our current loadout. So our current loadout so far is the Chaos Cowl, Chaos Cloak, Swift Strike Buckler, Elite Slash Module, Elite True Shot Module, Combustor, Blitz Needle, Arcana, and the Electron Vortex. All of which are fully leveled up, and most of which have, I guess you could say, a decent, unique variant, meaning that this is about as powerful as I can make my current loadout. However, this might not be the final loadout that we'll be using for the Shadow Layer. Depending on how competently I'll be able to use this loadout, there is a chance that I might wind up using a different combination of weapons if I feel like I'm not able to use this current combination of weapons competently, at least. The video could stop here, but just crafting and heating up all the stuff alone would be kind of boring. Let's see how competently I'm able to use this entire loadout altogether. We are in Candlestick Heap again, because of all the enemies that I'm worried about in the Shadow Lair would be the Spookats and the Howlitzers, that I know will be a huge problem for me if I don't deal with them as soon as possible. So I'm gonna have to get a few extra shadow keys so that I can try out this loadout, and if I feel like I'm not comfortable using this loadout, then I'll try swapping out some weapons and see what works best for me. Or depending on what I feel I can use at the Shadow Lair with whatever that I currently have in my arsenal. While it would be nice to use the most optimal loadout that I can find online, if I'm not comfortable or familiar with using a specific weapon combination, then it would just cause more trouble for me in the long run. So don't be surprised if you see a different loadout if and when we actually do attempt the Snowball X Shadow Lair, whenever that video comes out. The lag here is definitely not helping, but I think I'm getting better at aiming at the howitzers before they launch their head as a projectile. Not a bad attempt, but there is room for improvement, so that's a good thing, I guess. We can't really improve our current loadout anymore without having to craft completely new weapons or armor. I admit that this might not be the best possible loadout that you can bring to the Shadow Lair, but crafting new armor takes a while, so for the time being, I'll just have to roll with what I have for now. And there it is, the Snowball X Shadow Lair, which we'll soon venture into. The video and what I'm saying right now was added in post-edit, as we've already ventured into the Snowball X Shadow Lair in a previous video that was done quite recently, as a matter of fact. So originally the Snowball X Shadow Lair expedition video was supposed to be released a few days after this one, but due to technical difficulties with a different video, I figured that it'd make more sense to upload the Shadow Lair video, as I did promise a video sometime around Halloween. I did explain it in like the first, I think, 10 minutes of the Shadow Lair video, and the rest of the explanation was in like the last, I think, 3 minutes of that video. So the straight to the point explanation in why these videos were out of order for a little bit is that the video for that week was supposed to be something else, where I work on a project with a friend. But their phone ran out of memory while recording, and we only had like the first hour or so of that video to work with, so we kinda had to scrap that idea and let the Snowball X Shadow Lair video cut ahead in line. But we did manage to finish the project at least, and it was shown in like the last minute of the Shadow Lair video. Plus it would have been kind of a drag to have to scrap this video, as it was already made prior to this little mix-up. Assuming there won't be any further technical difficulties in the future. Hopefully, for now. We'll see what happens. If you enjoyed this series, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if possible, share this video. It would really help out the channel. And that's all I have to share with you for now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching.